Well, the U.S. is a nation of pill poppers. More than 70% of Americans take one or more doctor-prescribed medications.
But do you know where those drugs are made and what's in them? Our consumer investigator, Danielle Serino, found the answer. Might shock you.
I first looked into this story when my mother, out of the blue, developed severe GI problems that lasted for months. Tests showed nothing, but her doctor said he had another patient with similar symptoms whose prescription they found was being made in India. And that's when we uncovered that bad medicine is more common than you'd imagine. We've heard the warnings for years about the dangers of taking prescription drugs made overseas. Because they don't have the same oversights we have here, you're not always getting just what the doctor ordered.
We don't know exactly what's in the pills, the potency, and we don't know how they'll counteract with the drugs you're currently taking.
But did you know that 80% of the ingredients in your meds come from overseas? Places like India, China, and Taiwan. My mom certainly didn't.
The pill was different looking. It was a different shape and it was a different color. But on the prescription itself, it said, don't worry, as long as the druggist knew that I wasn't getting like cyanide or something.
Well, maybe not cyanide, but when Mom called the Food and Drug Administration, she found that the new generic she was taking was from India and contained fillers like sodium lauryl sulfate and titanium dioxide, which some scientists classify as possible carcinogens. And changing up the ingredients is common practice. When a drug goes generic, the active ingredient is supposed to be the same as the brand, but they also put in a whole bunch of inactive ingredients to make it unique. And you can bet we're not talking about a spoonful of sugar.
I can't remember the names offhand, but they weren't even pronounceable. It was outrageous. Surprised there weren't hubcaps in there.
But the ingredients are the least of it. It's the conditions of many of the overseas factories and the appalling lack of oversight.
People are walking around barefoot in sterile manufacturing facilities where there's no working plumbing. People are eating their lunch in areas where these drugs are supposed to be produced.
Dr. David Gortler is a former FDA medical officer and professor of pharmacology in D.C. He says there's a reason you don't see this on your pill bottles. At Sun Pharmaceutical, the fourth largest generic drug maker in the world, we uncovered FDA documents where inspectors found rodent traps, the smell of urine in a quality control area, and bathrooms with what appeared to be human waste on the wall. Another Indian manufacturer, wkyc, had to recall its top-selling heart drug, metoprolol, because it wasn't working as they claimed. In fact, several big overseas manufacturers have been hit repeatedly with violations.
They're not necessarily interested in quality. And a lot of the times, consumers just simply aren't getting the full dose of the drug that they're meant to.
So where's the FDA in all of this? MIA. Of the nearly 4,000 foreign factories registered with the agency, you know how many have been inspected? Only a third, all because they don't have the money or staff. But that shouldn't keep them from stopping the repeat offenders from continuing to peddle their drugs, and we wanted to know why. How many violations does it take for you guys to just shut them down and ban them from coming in? They wouldn't go on camera, instead issuing this statement, which reads like the side effect warnings you hear in drug commercials. For Mom, all of this was hard to swallow.
The drug companies do what they have to do. They don't care about people or lives.
As soon as Mom stopped taking those pills, her symptoms went away. Now, to that FDA statement, in case you missed it, they basically said they weigh the risks of the manufacturing process against the need for the drug. We'll put the full statement on our website, as well as information on how to take control of your prescriptions.